My mustache is
Well, hello,
crooked.
not your mustache. Stop talking. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this evening's Pulp Cthulhu. As you see, we've got, I guess that's Steve. Steve's with us. Strider's with us. Lauren's with us. Allison's with us. But the Doctor of the Hour, Lindy, is with us. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Olympians of all ages, Grimjack 21502 proudly brings to you the death of an Olympian? Well, I guess we're gonna have to see, because as we left last episode, Dr. Gretta von Krause was sitting inside of Ballantine Ale, which is a hotbed, an HQ, a sancta sanctorum of Nazi activity here in the greater tri-state area of New York City. She's in there. She is all alone. But where, you ask, are the other Olympians? The other Olympians are unaware of her current plight. We have Cato Callahan, who has touched down Calamity Jane inside the arena that is Manhattan, inside the precious Central Park, to much fanfare, as she is, of course, America's flying sweetheart, protector of the skies, as the headlines will read. Where's everyone else, you say? Well, they are finally getting a chance to take it easy, get a nap, if you will. All except for one. But we'll get to her sooner rather than later. But until we do that, Allison, how are you doing tonight?
Hey, everybody. It's Allison. I play Caitlin Jane O'Callahan, aviatrix extraordinaire, princess of the skies, America's flying sweetheart. I'm coming to you live tonight from beautiful Portland, Oregon, in the same hotel that I was in 4 weeks ago, I think, the last time you saw this background. I'm super excited. I'm especially excited for my hashtag Good Girls Against Grant in the chat house tonight. So good to see everybody there. And I'm sure we're not going to need any help of any kind tonight because we're just going to be napping, right? That's what the plan is. Good. I'm really looking forward to that. I think I haven't slept in 4 days.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. You're going to get a nap. It's downtime. It's time to take it easy. You're not in a life or death situation. In fact, you are going to be... There's ticker tape that is currently being queued up all along the streets for one Cato Callahan. But Lauren, how's Sabella doing?
Oh, great. Okay, listen up, guys. I'm Lauren. I'm that saucy ginger on Twitter. I'm very ill, but I'm very excited to be here. I graduated. I did the thing. And tonight I will be playing Miss Sabella Marie Ives of Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore on the beautiful lower side of Manhattan. Let's see. I am feeling great. I'm a little peckish, but I have things to do first.
It's maggots.
That was subtle. It was a subtle, just a sprinkle. I appreciate
it. Subtlety, Greg. The queen.
You're a master of your craft. This is your dojo. I am simply a student. And speaking of dojos, Steven, Dwight, how you doing, buddy?
This is my first venture into cosplay and will be my last. This is not going well. How's everybody doing? Like my counterparts and associates have said here, don't believe the hype with my brother over here saying we're going to be able to relax. So we're going to bring you dope beats, dope rhymes, and in dope time. And that's 19 Dirty Tree, and these mustaches suck. So
there we go. You got it all. You got mustache advice, and you've got a bit of an old school young MC type of vibe from 1933. Strider, my man, how are you doing tonight?
Speaking of mustache advice, hey, I'm doing fantastic. I'm excited to play Elijah Sawyer. Con man, Strider Heap's in fact just one of his many personas, so I am excited to see what happens tonight. He's got mixed feelings about most of his party members, so let's see where this goes.
It should be something else. When it comes to Elijah Sawyer, it's always for a DM, okay, I'm going to Elijah now, I better buckle the fuck up. And speaking about buckling the fuck up, let's go over to Lindy. Lindy, Dr. Gretta von Krause.
Hi!
How are you doing tonight?
I'm fine. I'm doing great, Greg. How are you? Yeah, no, just chilling at a brewery right now. Nothing bad at all is gonna happen.
Just chilling, right?
Just chilling, getting a drink.
Just injecting somebody with a massive hypo needle in the stomach.
That's normal for Greta. She's fine. I'm not worried at all. I'll be playing Dr. Greta von Kraus, who is gonna be having so much rest this episode. It's gonna put the rest of the Olympians to shame.
Sure, yeah, we'll go with that for now because why the fuck not? Let's go ahead and see what we got here. Right. So just to recap a bit about what happened last week, a lot of kind of the beginnings of questions we got 2 or 3 words into the answer with the discovery of some artifacts beneath the tug Pegasus after the excellent diving exploits of Sabella Ives. Who would have thunk it? Well, Sabella did. She dove down to the bottom of New York Harbor and retrieved several artifacts, among which were scrolls from Bolivia, a book from Bolivia, and the fabled Staff of Serpents. So we will see exactly... Oh, somebody just subscribed when I was talking about her. Who was that? Okay. Well, thank you. And a lot of other things came into play as the Olympians were making moves to... the Olympians proper, and by that I should say Strider, Sabella, and Dwight were making moves to begin the process of leaving New York City. But to leave New York City, you must be done safely, and the skies above New York City were anything but, as both the Zeppelins, the Graf Zeppelin and the Hindenburg were both above New York City, but none other than America's flying sweetheart, Cato Callahan, in her recently returned Calamity Jane aircraft, took to the skies and kicked a little Nazi ass, ladies and gentlemen. The only thing falling faster out of the sky that day might have been the hearts of the guys that were flying the craft, knowing that they just got their ass kicked by an American by the name of Cato Callahan. But perhaps the most interesting events of last week were those of Dr. Greta von Kraus, who, when telling Kate she was going to return to Ives' Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore, in fact took a detour and went to Ballantine Ale in Newark, New Jersey, carrying with her Wally, who was the co-pilot of Cato Callahan during her around-the-world attempt, friend, and the person that was actually entrusted of bringing Calamity Jane from California to New York. And once Dr. Greta von Kraus got inside, she was confronted by one Gabriel Ballantine, who asked her one very simple question. If she was still a daughter of the Reich, would she kill all of the Olympians? And unfortunately, Dr. Greta von Kraus could not say, in all honesty, yes. And so as we left last week's episode, and as we will begin this week's episode, Dr. Greta von Kraus has just inserted her hypo syringe into the belly of Gabriel Ballantine, injecting him fully with one of her devious bioserums.
Bioserums,
yes. Here we go, everybody. This is exactly what we wanted. Okay, so with the syringe plunged all the way down into the stomach of Gabriel Ballantine, the injection trigger pulled, the collapsing of the capsule as it empties the contents into Gabriel Ballantine. Here we are in the middle of Ballantine Ale, surrounded by Nazis, zombies, and a little of both. Dr. Greta von Kraus, the next 2 hours may be the rest of your life.
Oh, okay.
What would you like to do?
Well, I just stuck him with some Albtron.
It was devilish, too. You stuck him.
I stuck him. Is he reacting immediately? Is it good? Does it look good? I also want to take that silver disc out of his hand, because that's bad. It's bad.
Well, no, that's a different action, as you have with your dominant hand.
Yes.
Jammed it in there, and his eyes go wide as you depress, and that bellows kind of blows this concoction into him. And he pulls back and he still has that disc in his left hand that he had been twirling, and he stumbles back. I'm going to give you a chance to do something. What would you like to do?
Can I take the silver disc?
You can certainly try.
Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna nat 20.
Okay, you're going to nat 20? Okay,
I don't want to throw all the zombies at me.
Okay, as you nat 20 this, as you grab it, you're able to pull it from his grip as he is in fact almost releasing it as he is stumbling, and you see the veins predominantly in his head begin to swell as this bioserum goes through him, and it seems to be focusing solely on the peak of this man, his head, as you see it begin to swell and pump in different bellows and cavities across his cranium as he's stumbling back, and liquid, not blood, but some type of clear yellowish fluid begins to spurt from between and the corners of his eyes. As you can tell immediately as a doctor, when each spurt goes off, the man has lost his eyesight because the eyeballs themselves are protruding after each explosion.
Good.
And as he steps back, he releases the disc, but as soon as you grab it, you see every pair of eyes in Ballantine Ale turn to look at you.
Okay.
And as the man stumbles back, he looks at you for a second as these two completely erratic orbs looking in different directions, independent now, torn free of the muscles that once controlled their simultaneous movements. He just, maybe by coincidence, maybe by sheer luck, casts this awkward gaze at you for one last time, and his head explodes.
Okay, good. Good.
Blowing gore and brain matter everywhere within a 15 to 20 foot radius as it mists and sprinkles down, the heavier chunks hitting first, the mist settling like a fine English rain. And upon Gretta von Krause, this thin, tannish pink substance creates a bit of rouge to her cheeks as it looks as if the doctor is flushed within these first few moments of this conflict. But as you turn, Gretta, you see before you a completely foreign environment. You see a processing facility. You see what looks like a bottle works, large tubs of tanks of copper that are lining both walls, what looks like a string of offices off to the right. But more importantly, you see the eyes of all of these individuals look at you. And as one, they point and begin to charge you, each of them sounding off what seems like a sonar to the others. It's not a yell, it's not a sustained cry or scream, it's a as they run towards you, almost as an echolocator, and people that are coming around from the corners, they're running, not even looking at you, but pointing in your exact direction. What would you like to do?
I don't know how these discs work, right? Cool. Yeah, that was my first thought. Like, I came through the front. How far away am I from the front door?
How far are you from the front door? You are about 35, 40 feet from it behind you, but you haven't turned around yet to look at it.
Can I glance behind me?
Sure. You see about 15 men coming towards you from that direction. As they run towards you.
What else is directly around me? What is my immediate, within like 5 to 10 foot surroundings?
Are you looking for an escape route? Something that you currently don't see anybody in that direction would be the bank of offices to your right.
Okay, is there any like desks or brewing vats or anything like that also within? Because this is a brewery.
Right, the brewing vats, the copper vats are beyond, on the right side, beyond the offices.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, then I sounds like I'm... Is there a door separating the offices from the rest of the establishment?
Yeah, the offices seem to be, like if this is a warehouse, the offices are almost, imagine, if you will, very similar to what you guys experienced when you and Dwight went down to the docks. It's almost like a house within a house, like a trailer inside of this. That it's a lower roof, it has a top on it, but it seems to be a bank of offices to your right.
Cool. Can I drag... His corpse should be later now because he's missing a head. Can I drag his body with me to these offices and close the door?
Make an idea roll for me.
Okay, sure, let's do that. I'm pretty smart. Let me open my character sheet. That might help. Fuck! Sorry.
Yeah,
I was
think
expecting that.
you think that maybe you can actually do this. You think that you can actually pull this body in before they get on you. And as you grab hold of the ankle and start to pull it, it's the person that you didn't see that was actually coming from the shadows beside the left-hand side of the door as you looked at it that reaches out and with a terrible backhand cracks Gretta across the face as she takes this hit. And because of a fumble, ladies and gentlemen, you're wondering, well, why can't Gretta dodge, everybody? Well, 100, I can do whatever the fuck I want. So with that crack, Gretta, you take...
Okay, that's fine. This is fine.
You take 1 hit point of damage as you get cracked, and as it hits you, it splits the bottom of your lip a bit as it begins to trickle blood down, and you do release the ankle of the man that you were trying, Gabriel Valentine, you were trying to drag, and you realize that they are closing quickly. Okay. And as this is a scene from Night of the Living Dead where these echo zombies are coming towards you, we're going to cut back to Manhattan as we are sitting with the rest of the Olympians. Olympians, what would you like to do? At this point, Kate, we'll say that you have joined back up with the Olympians. I'm assuming that you all are going to return to Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore to peruse your booty, but if not, please let me know.
I'm sorry, did you just say peruse your booty?
Whose booty?
I may have said that. I may have said that as just a not thinking far enough ahead.
I have never said that I got dressed again. So, all right. Yes, I'm going back to the bookstore.
Okay.
Yeah, Kate would do the same as soon as she had gotten a hold of Parsons aircraft representatives in New York to come secure Calamity Jane out of the middle of Central frickin' Park.
Absolutely. And by the time that the Parsons reps come to Central Park, there are more people that are in there. There are more cameras, and people are coming in, and reporters are saying, "Oh yeah, Miss O'Callahan, I'm from the Herald. What happened up there?" And so this next quote, Allison, will probably be in the evening edition.
No pressure or anything. As they come up, Kate's sort of rubbing her hand in her wrist like this. Her hand is so sore from signing all them autographs. And as, you know, she's getting papers handed to her and she's signing things and she's posing for pictures. And she says, "Well, I told you I'd get them Nazis out of our skies, didn't I?"
And they all furiously start to scribble down exactly what you've said. Way to go, Miss O'Callahan, as they take off. And so you are able to go back to, and by the way, Summer, you're a mod of this channel, so smack around Nightbot a little bit. So with that quote, freeing the skies of not, people were, you know, paraphrasing at this point. And with the evening edition of the papers that will be coming out in several hours, every one of them bears a headline of similar proportions. Princess of the Skies has her kingdom back. The skies are clear of the Nazis once again. Thanks, Kate. You know, she's back, with pictures of you standing getting out of Calamity Jane in Central Park. And every paper trying to one-up one another. While they're not necessarily, while this is the era of sensationalism, they're not necessarily things that were wrong, but your body count goes up with, it seems, each paper as the one that goes to print before the next. That was 3, and then it was 2, and then it was 12, and she's unstoppable, and, you know, the Nazis are quaking in their boots. And immediately some of the Bun Party members like Fritz have come forward and denouncing Kate O'Callahan as an enemy of foreign relations. If only Honest Pete were around to combat this type of incredible assholery, but unfortunately he is presently indisposed nowhere. But until then, you're able to make it back to Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore. We will say by the time you make it back, I'd like to hear what Elijah, Dwight, and Sabella are doing, please.
Well, Sabella, first she is gonna go get a towel because I don't know when she dried off, and then she's gonna take all her fun things and just off down to the back room. She's very happy. She's humming. She's perky. She's having a good time right now, and maybe a little sniffly, much like I am right at this moment.
Humming, perky, heading down to the back room.
In a towel.
In a towel. What is she
Very
taking
important.
with her?
The book, the scrolls, the staff, and I think I'll bring the jetpack and the green block, but she's not super interested in it right now, which is hilarious. I got a book, y'all.
Okay.
You got two books. You just won't take the one.
Oh yeah. Okay, yes, I'm not touching the red book.
Elijah still has that book, correct? It was given back to him.
I have it.
No, we told Dwight.
What gave Dwight?
Yeah.
It went to me and then to Dwight. So yes, I'm taking all the fun stuff to the back room and want to have some fun.
Okay, well, what we're going to do here is, for all of the Olympians not currently on the premises of Valentine Ale, we're going to do a bit of a montage sequence here, where anytime that research is involved with Cthulhu, it takes a considerable amount of time to even get a gleaning or an idea of what something is about, and it takes some pretty heavy research to fully understand it or fully utilize it. Sabella and all of the characters that you see here are actually exceptional, as Pulp Cthulhu characters can do this in a quicker state, but it still takes time. So what I would like to do is, Sabella, if you would like to tell me the first thing you would like to look for, and then we will go around and talk to everybody else and see what they're doing.
I also have that feat that lets me do research faster.
Right.
I also have Gretta's lab coat, by the way.
Sure.
I've had it for a while.
Sure.
Let's see. I think the first thing I'll look at is the staff.
Okay. So here's what you learn about the staff, and this is the serpent staff that was recovered in Bolivia. This was found in the tomb with the being known as the Tyrannish, as well as a tome and several scrolls. But this staff in and of itself is a length of coiled gold that arrives in a kind of a cobra splay that turns into a jeweled headpiece on the staff. You are looking at this, and as you're looking at this, I would like you to roll a power check for me, please.
I'll crit it.
Okay. So as you crit this power check on this staff, what you find out is this. At this point, you, more than anybody else, are aware of the magic points that your character has. So mechanically speaking, you hear one question which mechanically translates to this. If you voluntarily give the staff 10 of your magic points, which will greatly reduce the short-term abilities of Sabella Ives, it will grant you the ability to wield this staff.
Not, okay. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. And that's just of my, my store. That's not, permanently overall reduce.
No, it's not a permanent reduction, but they will be reduced, and you'll have to get them back over time like you normally do.
Great. Yes.
Okay. So, as you kind of focus and, for lack of a better description, drop some of your essence into this staff, as you are able to focus and push forward some of your psychic energy into this length of metal, it greedily accepts your offering. And as it draws this in, the staff itself begins to coil, almost like a tape measure. tip to tail, tip to tail, tip to tail, spinning and spinning tighter and tighter and tighter until before you're even aware of it, it is a 5-inch disc of coiled gold in your hand. You're pretty sure it could fit in your pocket. You're pretty sure it could be easily concealed now that it is no longer this disc. And as the last of your concentration is going into it, you hear, in a language you do not understand, whispers. And it trails off just as you kind of lose your concentration a bit.
Does it sound like Nicole?
You're not really, you've never heard it spoken out loud.
No, just read it.
Right. So yeah.
Cool.
So with that, we're going to cut over, as this process takes a good hour from beginning to end of this process in the special reading room of Sabella Ives at the Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore. Let's go over to Dwight. Dwight, what are you doing, bud?
Dwight has a couple things he does want them to look at, as far as he'll give Sawyer the Dietrich's folder, so he can look over that. And he wants to have at some point have Sabella look at the bullet. We've discussed that, and see what she can maybe potentially do some things with it, potentially maybe replicate it, yada yada yada. But he's going to go out and he's going to probably he's got some things on his mind here in the past couple of days now that he's actually not like on the run. And maybe he's going to go find a church to do a little confession.
Okay.
He's feeling pretty low at the moment because it's been pretty much a whirlwind, and everything's kind of like stopped and hit him, like everything's caught up to what's going on.
Absolutely. I'm reading this here. Summer gives her sub crits to Lindy and Steve. So Lindy and Steve, you have additional crits here. And we have something else at play that may or may not come into it. We'll see. Let me double check and make sure.
Summer, as usual. You are our guardian angel.
And I have received the instructions on the other secretive potential crits that could be awarded. I will take care of those for you. Honest Pete. Okay, so as you're able to go out, you find you find a Catholic church. It's a few blocks away. It's right on the edge of this town, right on the edge of kind of the Lower East Side because Lower East Side, because this is predominantly a Jewish area, but you're able to find a Catholic church just on the outside of it, and you're able to walk in. It is empty. There's no service in session, but you do see what appears to be a deacon walking around, making sure the candles remain lit, checking on the votives that are in the different remembrance sectors in front of each of the saints.
Yeah, Dwight kind of awkwardly walks in, and he kind of like wipes his feet. He doesn't quite know what to do in a church. He doesn't know how to exactly what's the proper etiquette. He hasn't been in a church in a while. He kind of like, does a little wave at the deacon to see if he sees him.
Yeah, the deacon will see him and come over, and he'll immediately come over and kind of place his left hand on Dwight's shoulder in a very genuine expression of concern. Son, may I help you?
I don't. I want to do a confession. I don't even. How's that work, Father? You just kind of like take a number or something?
He points up to it looks like a small, almost like a phone box that's set into the side of the left-hand side of the church wall, and there's a curtain, and there's a candle resting in a kind of a glass hurricane outside of it, and it's currently lit. And he says, "You are in luck, my son. Father James is here. He is, just walk in and he'll take your confession."
Father James, eh? Okay, I will, that seems like a dawn-breaking kind of thing, but I will head over to the confessional box.
Okay, as soon as you go in, you notice that there is like a kneeler that's up against a screen, And inside the box, it's dimly lit, and you realize that with the screen, you can see a bit of a silhouette of a man behind it, and you realize that even with sniper vision, this gentleman's only going to be able to make out a silhouette of you. So anonymity is of itself paramount in this type of situation. And as soon as he hears somebody get in there, he says, "Have you come for confession?"
Yes, Father, I have.
How long's it been?
5 years, 6 years. I kind of got to admit my first sin. I'm not really Catholic, Father, and that I apologize to that. I guess that's my first confession, I suppose.
Well, you are here, my son, and that's all that matters in the eyes of the Lord. So, what is the worst thing that you have done? What has brought you to this place, my son?
The worst thing I've done? Well, I've already I've confessed that in the past. I thought that kind of like, once you confess something, it kind of like you nix on that one and you kind of go to the last worst thing you've done.
Well, yes, but has there been something that's weighing on your mind that has brought you here? Something recent that has led you to the house of the Lord?
Yes. Well, I got to say that I killed 2 people the other day, Father. And I in the war, I never thought too much of it. They were basically faceless. You never thought about what the man goes home to, what his thoughts are. But the other day, and 2 guys meant to work, and they didn't go home to their family, and that's starting to kind of weigh on me. I have a lot of problems. I drink a lot. I drink probably too much at times. One drink to remember, another to forget. I've known a lot of things that have worked for me, and it's caught up to me here recently. Seems like everywhere I go and my associates go, we bring misery, or misery follows us. We are. I don't know if we're the cure of the virus, but destruction. People have died, and it's. I've continually find myself on the run. I just, it's starting to shake me a little bit. All my life I've had one talent, and that's been looking down the trigger sights and pulling the trigger. And now it's getting harder and harder to do that. I kind of tried to forget things in the past, and they're catching up to me.
Well, my son, you mentioned the greatest of the sins, murder. And there's really only one thing to say about that. Did they deserve it, Dwight? And we'll cut away from there and go back to Ballantine Ale as Lindy, Dr. Gretta Von Krause, has currently been struck across the face as she is en route to the bank of offices. And as you are creeping and moving away to get over into that area, what would you like to do?
What would I like to do? Well, I'm definitely headed in that direction, because I don't see any zombies that way. Do they, if I move the disc, though, as I run and kind of look behind me, do the eyes seem to be on the disc or on me?
As you hold the disc, it seems that they continue to maintain a direct bead on you.
Okay, can I try to, as I'm running, or if I run and I slam the door to the offices, try to figure out how the disc works, try to control it, see if there's like an off switch or some kind of mechanism I can figure out?
It's going to take you some time.
Okay.
You currently have about 3 seconds until somebody else is on you. You have somebody on you right.
Running to the
Okay.
towards the offices and close the door.
I would like you to make a dex check to see if you can pull away from the gentleman or dodge, whatever one that you would like.
I'm gonna use a crit.
Okay, so with expert precision, perhaps a cartwheel from the days of yore, Dr. Greta is able to yank away from this guy that just struck her, and she's able to roll out, and you get to the door of the offices, and it opens, and you're able to get inside. What would you like to do?
Get the fuck out.
Lock the fucking door behind me.
Right.
Close it. Is there anything I can throw in front of it to barricade it?
This seems to be a door that is a hallway. It's a door to a hallway, so there isn't
Okay.
any like file cabinets or desks
Is there,
in this
is
area.
there like a vault or a safe or something in this lovely establishment? Like a big.
I don't know.
Just. Oh fuck. Okay. Is there? Really,
I'm with you.
Besides
I'm
the
running
door
around.
full of offices. Is
I'm
there
your cameraman here.
Like a VIP office that's the door just looks a lot more heavy and sturdy than the regular offices.
I will explain it to you this way. There looks
Okay.
like that there are 3 offices lining each hall on the right, on the left side, facing each other, and there seems to be a door at the very end.
Oh, the offices are all open. There's no doors leading to each office.
There's doors, yeah. There's doors, but it's like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then there's
Okay.
a door at the very end.
Does one of them say Gabriel? Oh, no.
You don't see one that says that. You can roll spot hidden to see if you pick up anything that says that, but
Gonna go towards the door at the end. I feel like I need a door between me and this horde of awful things.
yeah, just as soon as you take that moment to kind of contemplate what's going on, the first of these things hit the door behind you, and you see them going to open it.
Yeah, I locked it. It had a lock.
Yeah, it's they're
Okay,
they're
good.
now
And then I
throwing
go to the next
themselves
door. Maybe
against.
if they lose line of sight, I'll be fine. Gonna
Okay,
go hide.
are you going into the first room that you come to, or the one at the very end of the hall?
I'm gonna head towards the end of the hall, but if any of the doors are open, I'll look in and see. And if any of them are empty, I might ditch your course.
Okay,
That makes
so
sense.
yeah, absolutely. You're moving fast but cautiously and trying to keep peripheral in this. Okay, so
Yeah.
with that in mind, I will allow you to roll a dodge roll for me as
I'm
you
gonna
get
use
to
it on
the second door on the.
crick.
Okay, so as you get just out of the corner of your eye, you see what looks like a swinging, maybe a chair leg. As you duck below it and striking the door jamb beside, you see one of these crazy creatures looking at you. It's very it's blink incredibly slow as it turns and raises up another strike of this wooden club that it's produced from somewhere. And so as it's coming down on you again, you have the option of continuing your fighting, or anything else you think of, because this is Cthulhu.
I want to continue going because I don't want to stop, and then all these things are gonna catch up to me. So I'm gonna keep going towards that door.
Okay, so as you get down to the end of the doorway, you have one in here, and just as you get to the end of the door and open the far end door, you hear the door that you closed and locked explode as this second creature that was inside here with you is maybe 10 feet back, lumbering with this club. It's
Is there
dragging
anything
the club
like
along
a
the
chair I
ground.
could throw, like as I run past, to just kind of block something behind me?
Unfortunately, this is just a hallway. It doesn't have any type of furniture evident in it. Perhaps some of the offices themselves hold more, but... So you're going into the far room?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, you're able to get into this room, and what you see is a large desk,
Okay.
a table off to the right. You see several bookcases. You see a file cabinet that seems to be right beside the door. You see a coat rack. And on the far side, on the opposite wall from which you entered, is a double swinging door that seems to go into a large open area. But roll an idea check for me, please.
Yeah, hard success.
Okay, you see a drape of plastic on the outside, some type of very heavy gauge plastic that's relatively clear, which denotes that there must be some type of substance inside that would require sealing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna close this door behind me.
You're able to close it. What would you like to do? You have a file cabinet and you have a book or a coat rack if you want to try to barricade, as you mentioned before.
I'm gonna lock it first, and then I'm gonna shove
As
the
soon as you
filing
lock
cabinet
it, boom!
in
Something
front of
slams against it. Roll a
filing
strength
cabinet.
check for
It's
me.
a lot. That fucking crit bullshit. This is
Okay, as adrenaline pumps through the former Nazi, she rips the file cabinet over on its side and provides a very significant barrier to
good.
the creatures that are hitting. In fact, to the point where it dulls this boom, 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 boom. You hear on the outside, and then you hear another thump as the creatures that were initially held out by the first locked door
They all catch
hit.
up.
Yeah, hit in a wave, and boom, it rocks a little bit. But it seems that for right now, everything is holding. As you look around, you'll see this. There is a telephone on the desk in this
Okay.
room.
Cool. So first things first. I'm a peek in like the plastic area, make sure there's no zombies in there.
Roll spot hidden for me.
I'm a crit.
You
I want to know what's in that other room, Greg.
You see 3 people walking in this room, but they don't appear to be acting as the people out in the warehouse area. And because you critted, I will let you know this. One of them appears to be an albino.
Fuck me. Okay, great. This is fine. I probably don't have time to study this thing then first. Okay, what are they doing in this room? I did crit. Is there any big open vats of acid by any chance? Or anything?
No, you do see, and because of your occupation and because you did crit this, you see, for lack of a better description, what looks like 6-pack bottles that you know are chemical and base elements that are scattered throughout. You see them in different glass shelving around the area. You notice that they appear to be working on bottles of beer, and it looks as if they are adding something to the bottles of beer that are then placed inside wooden crates and added into shipping skiffs.
Are these bottles like clearly labeled or anything? Or are they just
Yes,
like...
the bottles that they're adding things into, no, but they are carrying several element symbols from your everyday element symbols, so you can pretty much figure out if you get close enough what these would be.
Close enough. Does Mr. Albino sir seem to have a gun on him?
No, he is wearing a kind of a uniform shirt that he has rolled up to his sleeves. He has a belt on, and you can see that it looks like he has a holster on the side of it, but it's an oddly shaped holster.
Oh, like a snake gun holster, perhaps?
I don't know.
Okay, because I know what a snake gun approximate size is.
Have you ever seen a snake gun holster?
I have not. So that's usually just Kate's arm.
Oh, I almost was going to help you out there, but good.
That's okay. They don't seem to have noticed the noise from the freaking zombies.
You do notice that it's eerily quiet in here between the office and the laboratory area. It seems as if this plastic is really holding out a lot of the sound. Yeah.
Okay, well, if that's the case, look at the little corner. And I'm gonna try to figure out this disc, but I'm gonna have that pistol I have out and like ready on my knees, and if anybody so much as pokes a finger through that plastic, I'm gonna shoot it off. I'm gonna figure out this disc because I fucking zombies, and no, this is bad.
Okay, roll a power check for me.
I'm gonna crit it.
Okay, because of the crit, you find out this. The disc appears to be coded to one individual and one individual only. And that individual, in your estimation, must have been the person that called themselves Gabriel Ballantyne.
Can I, like, rub it on my face that has his brains on it and see if that does anything? Can I,
You didn't realize how warm you were. It's kind of cool and pleasant.
Nope. Okay, well then I just... Fuck. Alright. I only have a limited amount of time then because of zombies. coded to one individual. This is bad. All right. Then, what's in this office? Is it like it's clear plastic, right? It's not like. Opaque.
Well, it's not today's plastic. It's like real heavy industrial, almost white sheeting that's down. So you kind of have to like peek in between it, but it's very heavy. It's
Very
almost like a
heavy.
drape. Yeah, you've got the table, the desk. There's a phone on the desk, and you've toppled over the filing cabinet and the coat rack.
Okay. Can I dig through the desk real quick?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, you just find writing implements. You find pencils and notepads, Ballantine ale. You know, there doesn't seem to be anything nefarious in here.
Ignore it.
Yeah.
All right. Filing cabinet. While they're just looking through real quick, anything that may have anything to do with Olympians or me or.
Why don't you roll a library use here to see how quickly you can ascertain?
Library use. Let's crit that too.
Okay, so as you open this, the adrenaline's still pumping through in both your physical and mental aspects. You're able to see that this is really the business of the day. These are ordering receipts, invoices, copies of
Office.
yeah, delivery schedules, things like that. It's very quickly you ascertain.
All right, and you
that
said there
this
was a
is
table.
a table, yeah, just like a meeting table.
All right, and it's like empty, right? Because it's just a meeting table.
It doesn't appear that there's anything on it, no.
All right, can I move the table over in front of the plastic in the doorway?
The plastic doorway? Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
You just
Like
roll
as a barrier, like I'm prepping for a Wild West shootout.
Sure, yeah. Just roll a strength check for me.
Sure. Extreme.
As the adrenaline continues to pump through Dr. Greta Von Krause, you're able to quietly get this massive 7-foot table down into place and drop it down. So it is
Nice
now
and
giving.
thick, right? Good.
Oh yeah, it could take a shot. You think? If
the
Dwight were
desk?
here, he could tell
How
you
thick-
exactly what. Yeah,
How thick's the desk?
the desk is big. The desk is solid oak. It's
Okay.
like, you know,
And because it's one of the nice old-fashioned desks, it has the back to it too, right? Like
it has a
it's
foot
solid
kick. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
I'm gonna push that in front of the table.
I will need another strength check for that.
Sure. Oh, fuck me.
Yeah, this bad boy is heavy as shit, and as soon
right.
as you try to like throw your body against it, doesn't move at all.
Okay, well then the table will have to do. I'm gonna pull out my little gun.
Okay.
This is such a bad idea. You know what? You know what? First, I'm gonna shoot myself up with some Heilkräfte.
Okay.
Okay.
How many are you going to trade for what you're going to trade it for?
I'll do 6 for 6.
Okay.
Okay.
So mechanically, Lindy has just injected herself with something that trades 6 of her luck for 6 temporary hit points as she gives herself a blast of this, her final injection that she has to give herself a full 6 additional temporary hit points as she is ready to maintain this siege. And I will say again, as your DM and as your friend, there's a telephone on the desk.
Okay. Can I also give myself some morphine? Just real quick.
Sure, yeah, I'll give you that as a freebie. You go ahead and
I
just
know exactly how much dosage I need. Just
Yeah.
like
shoot up. Yeah, cheers, Greta.
I'm gonna pick up the phone, but I'm gonna have my gun out the whole time behind
Okay.
the table.
All right.
Now do I call the mafia or do I call the bookstore?
Do you have the mafia's number?
I know the number of the restaurant, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, do I call the mafia or do I call the Olympians? There's a lot of wow. I'm gonna call. Let's call the Olympians. I'm gonna call Ives Esoteric Square in Bookstore.
Okay, and we will conveniently cut away from this scene of siege in Ballantine's Ale as we are at the front of Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore, where one Elijah Sawyer is leaning up against the front desk when the phone directly beside him
Good at
rings.
Sawyer. Thank God.
Right, yes, this is Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore. This is Jonathan Pondry. How can I help you?
Hello, Elijah.
Akya, mein Doctor.
Ugh. I have some interesting news for you.
Nah, this has been one hell of a day. I'm sure my news is more interesting than yours, but you go first. You try me.
Well, first of all, I feel like you should know. I would only ever kill you in self-defense.
That is the kindest thing anyone has ever said to me, Doctor. Are you coming on to me again?
Not this time. Maybe later. But anyways, I may be at Ballantine Ale. And there might be a lot of zombies. And I might be about to face off with the albino Hans Gruber.
Dwight Sniper boy, his German one.
Yeah, they are doing something with the ale here. I figured I should check up on it on my way back since I was in Jersey and we haven't been here yet.
You have been a busy girl, let me guess. You need help. What's that? I didn't hear what you said, Doctor.
I would appreciate it since I consider you a friend if you could provide some assistance.
I am a friend to anybody that needs assistance.
Dankeschön.
We will be down momentarily.
I will see how long this filing cabinet holds up.
If you're in a hurry, I'll put the pedal to the metal. And he'll hang up the phone.
Okay.
Okay, so as we stay, as the phone drops in Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore and in Ballantine Ale, we, however, will stay with the silver-tongued devil, Elijah Sawyer. Elijah, you are currently alone in Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore as Dwight has gone, Kate is not back yet, and for the purposes of narrative, Sabella is halfway through her reading of the Serpent Staff. So you are alone. The whereabouts of Phil Castillo, if he would ever even deign to help you, unknown.
Well, why do dirty work yourself? He's gonna pick up a phone and he's gonna dial his contacts at the Green Garden, I think. And he is going to ask for a ride for himself and also to the brewery, as many people, as fast as possible.
Okay, so you are able to, you call up the Bonanno crime family in the Green Garden. You are greeted with a voice that you've only heard once, but recognize as that of John Dillinger. Yes, can I help you?
Mr. Dillinger, I don't know if you remember me. My name is Derelict, and you are just the man I wanted to talk to.
What can I do for you, Mr. Lecht?
Ballantine Ale. I'm going to need men of your particular caliber immediately, actually. I believe shit is hitting the proverbial fan.
Go outside. Someone is there with a car. I will meet you there.
Why, thank you. He hangs up.
The phone's already dead by the time. When you look outside, there is a black coupe waiting for you.
Ooh. These boys are creepy.
Are you taking the car?
Hell yeah.
When you go and get in, John Dillinger's behind the wheel. Are you ready?
Oh, ready as I will ever be. Your experience nature is appreciated.
It makes me in demand. And he depresses the gas, engages the gears from the 3 on the tree, and there is a squeal of wheels as you disappear towards Newark, which at this rate might take you 15, 20 minutes. And let us cut back over at this point to Kate as you are able to get in, and we'll say as you are coming into Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore, you see a black coupe kind of squeal off and hang a right as you are dropped off in front of the shop.
I walk up the steps and open the door and step in. Nobody here. Hello? Sabella? Is there anybody here?
No answer.
I close the door behind me. And look, Kate looks noticeably disappointed that there's nobody that she gets to. She's really been looking forward to, like, did you see that? Did you see what I just did? And obviously that's not going to happen. So I'm going to walk up the stairs, I suppose.
Roll a listen check for me, Kate.
Alrighty. I fail.
Yeah, you don't hear anything as you climb the steps, and once you get upstairs, you don't run in or encounter anybody up there either.
I'm going to head back downstairs and pick up that bag of mine that's got basically all of the stuff I've been carrying since we left for Borneo. I'm going to head up to the bathroom upstairs and get ready to take a shower.
Okay. Phil is not there.
I didn't ask, I don't think.
I was just, there was questions in chat, so I thought I'd go ahead and I was getting in front of all this. So, yeah,
Okay.
you have the ability to do so.
Okay. You don't want me to roll for a shower or anything, Greg?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm benevolent. I'm giving this one to you.
That's great. All right, that's what I'm doing.
Okay, let's cut down to Sabella. Sabella, about 25, 30 minutes after Kate re-enters and after Elijah has left, you finish your reading on the serpent staff, and as it coils in your hand and you hear those whispers in your head, you kind of put it away and you hear the water running upstairs.
Oh, really? Already? I will slip that. Oh, wait, I'm not wearing clothes. I will go upstairs to get dressed so I can have a pocket to put things in. I'm going to I'm going to keep everything on me. Not
Okay.
leaving anything.
Okay, you're carrying scrolls and books with you as you...
Yep. Just keep everything together.
Okay.
And I burst into the bathroom.
Okay. Well, this is not my place to describe, but what is there a shower curtain, or is this traditionally like it was, which is just a tub sans curtain in
Well,
the
that sounds
19...
good. That sounds great. It's my bookstore. I make the rules.
Okay. Tub sans curtain it is. So as you burst in expecting whoever you're expecting, you are greeted with the sight of Caitlin O'Callahan, America's flying sweetheart, scrubbing off the remains of victory and Nazi cowardice as you are holding books of occult nature in your hands and the loosely equipped
Yeah, my
pocket.
towel drops. in shock.
And we cut that scene.
Greg, that is the Pope action your audience has been waiting for.
No, we'll come back to this. We're cutting.
We did
Yeah, we're coming back. As the towel drops, the scene transitions, and where else to go from there? But take it to church. As we go to church, and you
Go back to the shower.
Right. As you have just been told by Father James, Dwight, did they deserve it?
Yeah, Dwight kind of loses all like uncomfortability. What the fuck did you just say?
There's no need for that language, son. I simply asked if they deserved it, Dwight.
How did you know my name?
I know all the soldiers of God.
Oh, really? Well, elaborate on the soldiers of God, please.
How many?
And make it good.
Of course. How many that do what you do as well as you do it would come in here and talk to a priest, Dwight?
There's a lot of churches in the world, Father.
But there's not a lot of men like you, Dwight.
Oh, there's nothing special about me, Father. You need to explain to me how you know me. I'm the type of man that doesn't want to be known. And people keep seeming to know me around here in these parts. And Dwight still has his 45 on him, and he kind of cocks it without somebody knowing.
This is confession, Dwight. Whatever you say here.
Actually, he wouldn't cock a 45. Sorry.
Yeah. Whatever you say here stays here. I am simply telling you that that God approves of what you are doing.
It kind of takes the air out of him a little bit. I'm not so sure God would approve of the things I've done.
I'm here to tell you that he does. He needs you, Dwight. There are forces at work that rival him.
The devil?
Worse.
Worse than the devil?
Yes, my son, worse.
And Dwight kind of he's kind of dumbfounded, like he doesn't know what to say to him. What are we to do?
Whenever you have questions, son, go to a church. God can speak to you there. But until then, and a small panel opens up beside the screen, and you see a crucifix on a chain dangle out.
Dwight takes it.
All good soldiers have a shield.
I will do what I need to do, Father.
That's all that God can ask.
Well, I hope God will forgive me for what I'm capable of doing.
He already has. And the light in the screen goes dark, and you no longer see the silhouette.
Dwight kind of looks at the crucifix.
It seems ancient. And by ancient, I mean it seems about 2,000 years old. But it's small. It's about 3 inches long by 1.5 inches, 2 inches wide from crossbar to post of the crucifix.
Do I feel anything?
It feels like it's made out of wood.
Okay. Dwight will kind of kiss it. And he almost feels like a weight. Just him saying that, like a weight has been lifted off his shoulder. And he decides that's what he needs, almost like what he needed to hear. And he kind of feels like, like he's ready to do this kind of deal. You know, if anything's more reaffirming of what he needed to do, and he's ready to rock. So he's going to go back to the bookstore.
Okay, when you get out and
to the shower.
Yeah, when you get out and as you go out of the confessional, the church proper is empty. There's no sign of the deacon that you saw before. And as you cross by the confessional where you was, the door's open and there's no one in there.
Can I do a spot hidden?
Yeah.
Just buy some. Listen, spot hidden. Hard
You see
success.
nothing. You see nothing.
Okay. Nothing out of the ordinary in my estimation.
Nope.
All right. He will, Dwight, he's as bad as shit as he's seen. He's okay with what's happened. He's accepted these kind of deals, and this has actually been a good one. So he's gonna head back to the bookstore.
Okay. You're able to leave the church without incident as you are walking back to Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore. What we'll do now is we are going to cut to the castle of Gretta von Kraus as it is currently under siege from one side. Gretta, what would you like to do at this point?
How's that filing cabinet doing?
It's getting pounded, but it seems to be holding. You're not sure how much longer it's going to last.
Can I push the desk up? Oh wait, you said there was a coat rack too? Can I move the coat rack up against it? And then I'm gonna try to... Yeah.
There, that's all that it took, right?
And then... What else is there anything on the walls in this room?
There's a few landscape paintings, and there's one painting of what looks like the exterior of Ballantine Ale. Presumably, it's a watercolor, presumably of the year in which it opened.
Okay. What year is that?
It looks like 1898.
Okay. And I'm gonna look behind each painting real quick. Just
Behind the watercolor painting, you see a safe.
I'm gonna open it.
How
How big's this safe?
It's about like a foot by a foot. It's a small.
Okay, not large enough for me to climb in and hide.
You could put your head in it, maybe. Right.
All right. I'm gonna try to open this safe.
Okay, I'm gonna need a mechanical repair or a lockpick.
Is it like is it a number code or alphabet code?
It appears to be numbers.
Can I try 1898 first?
Roll a luck roll for me.
Okay. Oh, I'm so lucky.
It pops open. That was it anyway.
Oh! Yeah. I'm up. What's in this safe, Greg?
Thank you for the cheer, Katie. Inside the safe, you see two things. You see a bundle of what looks like coiled letters in yellowed paper. Some of them more recent, some of them whiter than the others.
Did you see somebody's mail?
It looks like, yeah, it looks like letters.
Okay.
And lying there on the other side is a serpent gun.
Fuck me. I'll take it. I'm not putting it on.
Okay, yeah, you're
They haven't
able
been studied. They're not safe.
to. When you grab it, roll a power check for me, please. You're currently covered in the brains of somebody that it knows the smell of quite well.
That's true. You know what? I think that this Gruber guy's gonna be. I'm gonna try to roll it. I say that I'm gonna fuck it up. No, hard success.
As you pick it up, the tails of this serpent gun lovingly coil around your right forearm as the heads kind of intertwine within the forefinger, middle finger, and ring finger as it lovingly kind of uses its head to coat around in... It believes you to be Gabriel Ballantine.
Ugh. This is not good.
It's at this point that the file cabinet explodes behind you.
Oh no!
as the cabinet falls down and the door, which has already been removed from its hinges by the pounding, collapses in as well, and an absolute wave of these creatures that have no regard for their own bodies, bones, compiling in, and within the span of 3 seconds, 10 of them are spilled into the room in various states of being prone.
What's the ceiling look like in here?
It's low. It's maybe 7 and a half feet, maybe.
Is it plaster? Is it wood? What is it?
It's wood planking. It looks like this is the inside. It's not waterproof by any stretch of the imagination because it's inside the warehouse. It's just enough for privacy.
Okay. Yeah. All right. You said they're all nice, bunched up.
If it helps at all, Lindy, Katie just gave you 2 advantages.
That's nice. That's really nice.
I'm going to give you have 1 action here. I'd like to know what it is.
Yeah, I should have moved to the desk before this safe. These zombies are going to eat me. I'm going to bust. I'm going to jump over the table I have. Maybe that'll slow the zombies down, and then shoot Hans Gruber with the snake gun wherever he is.
Okay, so you roll over and you kind of like Dukes of Hazzard it into the library or the laboratory proper, right? Okay, so you slide in, and when you slide in, the room's empty.
Oh, it's empty. Is there a door, or is it just plastic?
No, the room is still filled with the laboratory equipment that you have known before. There doesn't appear to be any way out of this room, but it is currently empty. Let's cut back to the very hectic, very fast-paced vehicular ride from the Lower East Side to Newark as Dillinger is laying both the rubber and the fuel to the road, and Elijah is in the passenger seat.
I can see why you're in such high demand. If I drove like this, people would want me around too.
For a moment, when you look over at Dillinger, he doesn't take his eyes off the road, but for a moment, roll a spot hidden for me.
For a moment, roll a spot hidden.
Yeah. I was going to give you something. There you go. You got it anyway. So, perfectly as I was going to describe it anyway and realized I wanted to make you roll for it, you see him staring straight ahead, and for a moment, his face blurs as he looks over at you, and you see it trail back into place as he looks forward. I get paid the big bucks.
Yes, people of our kind are in short supply.
He nods, and you see a bit of a trail off his jaw when he dips it.
Like I'd suggest, like, if I could make an idea check to see if I can glean anything from this, because it doesn't mean too much to Strider, but...
Yeah, go ahead and roll an idea check. And you can see if you can kind of track what he's doing.
How about another extreme success?
It seems that he is moving incredibly fast.
Now, add him to the list of people not to piss off.
Yeah. So as you're driving and he is weaving in and out of traffic with a dexterity that belies the ability to move a car of this size and this sluggish handling in 1933, he quickly gets you over until in the distance, perhaps 2 miles away, you see the large edifice of Ballantine Ale. Anything you want to do to prep?
There's still a car parked outside taxi.
He hasn't seen it yet, but yeah.
He will tell Dillinger that it sounded like their assistance was needed pretty readily. So don't worry about trying to find a good parking spot. And he will see if he can find any supplies in here that could help him, weapons.
Sure.
Like he has no idea what he's heading into.
Yeah, you look into the back seat, and in a rack on the back seat, which there isn't a back seat, it is just a rack. Brewhammer donates $3 to, I can't read it. Boom. Crit for Gretta. Crit for Gretta.
Good.
Thank you, Brew. And so when you look into the back seat where there would be a back seat, it's been removed, and you can actually see into the trunk. You can't make out anything in the trunk per se, but there's a rack in the back, and it is filled with 3 Tommy guns and what looks like a rifle and 2 shotguns.
Tremendous. He will have a Tommy gun at the ready in case he needs to use it as they pull up.
Yeah, when you grab it, Dillinger, his face trails over and looks for a second, and you hear him say in that slow clipped speech of his, "Good choice." And you guys are barreling, and there's a strange lack of traffic here in front of Valentine Ale. But speaking of a lack of traffic, let's cut back to the bathroom of Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore, as the proverbial shoe and towel has dropped, as Cato Callahan and Sabella Ives, the last time they stood in this bookstore together, perhaps there was some exchanges made that were unpleasant. What is happening now?
Hi, Katie.
As the door bursts open, Kate's just sort of been humming to herself and scrubbing. But as the door bursts open, she turns quickly. She's not expecting anybody to be here. And she slips on just the bottom of the tub, and assuming the bathroom's fairly small, kind of just flat out blows the dex check and falls straight forward towards Sabella standing in the doorway.
I will try to catch
Oh my
her.
God.
Hi. Yes. Hello. Hi.
Okay, to succeed in catching Kate, you are going to roll a dex, and you are not allowed to use a crit. Okay.
Hard success.
Okay. Okay, so as you catch her, you guys do not tumble all the way to the tile floor. However, you are able to catch Kate, keep her on her feet, but you guys are now like nose to nose in the bathroom.
Did
And
you use my soap? You smell like lavender.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And kind of trying to pull away, but maybe not really so much. I didn't know you were here. I'm so sorry.
I was in the back.
Yeah.
We went to the Tug Pegasus, Katie. Where were you?
Oh, I was flying. Did you see what I did up there? I shot down one of them Zeppelins with Calamity Jane. It was the most amazing thing. I kind of and just kind of dead stops.
Yep. Just big eyes like, great. Do you want me to let you finish what you were doing?
And Kate swallows hard. No, I don't think so.
Here, I hand her my towel.
Thanks. And she takes it and sort of wraps herself up in it a little bit.
Have you? I was reading. I was doing stuff. Have you seen Phil?
No, I haven't. Why would I see him?
Well, he came back with us. He went with us, and then he came back with us, and now I don't see him. But it's fine. What?
Okay.
Oh, I have your jacket, but I kind of like it. So I might keep it for a while. It's kind of singed.
Well, yeah. You're kind of on fire when I wrapped you up in it. Remember?
No, I do not.
Oh,
But good to know.
I guess you don't.
No. Do you want to? You should. I'm gonna give you some privacy if you want some privacy. If you want.
At this point, Kate kind of takes a deep breath, and then she looks right back at you, and you're brought back to that moment. It seems like a lifetime ago, and she just takes her hand and holds it out to you like this.
Are you unstable? Do you feel like you're gonna slip?
Yeah, I kind of do feel like I might slip a little bit, Sabella.
Okay. And I'll reach out and try to steady her with my hand.
And as you do, Kate reaches out and kind of takes you by the hand like that. And you're not presumably wearing any gloves or anything, are you?
I am not.
So how's that work, Sabella?
Is this a free read? Allison, is Kate?
Yeah, she's not holding anything back at this point.
Then what would, if Sabella is not expecting this, much like with what happened with Phil, when it comes down to just an emotion on the surface level, what would she glean, Allison?
Ooh, the emotion on the surface level? She would glean a little bit of fear, a lot of nervousness, but some pretty significant affection, kind of maybe going beyond friendly affection.
So this would be enough for her to understand that Lauren, Sabella would be able to glean exactly that this is beyond a friendship feeling that she's getting from Kate.
Sabella's eyes have never been bigger. Do you feel more stable now?
Yeah, a little bit, I suppose.
Sabella's cheeks are as pink as her lacy underwear.
Allison, in Kate's mind, what she sees right now is that large hill outside of the observatory, and there is a sled with a rocket-powered wagon in front of you, and it's that moment right when it takes off.
Uh-huh. And you just asked me if I felt a little more stable. Well,
I did.
A little, I guess. How do you feel, Sabella?
Hot. Because the steam.
Uh-huh. And I haven't let go yet.
Yep, the pink is on the whole face. I'm not letting go either. Do you want to...
Do you?
What? Oh no! What?
Oh. Well, if you don't,
Well, I'm
Kate,
gonna.
Kate,
What?
Kate steps forward, just right close as she can get.
You guys are
And-
literally nose to nose.
And then throws caution to the wind and kisses her.
And we cut from the shower scene at Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore as America's Flying Sweetheart's lips touch the lips of the proprietor of said Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore, both bare-ass naked in the shower, as we cut to a scene of absolute mayhem at Ballantine Ale, as you are now in the laboratory section, Gretta, and there is
Did you say
a flood.
laboratory?
I certainly did.
You can't get more pulp than this anywhere, ladies and gentlemen.
As you lay down in the laboratory section, you see no one in the room. I will allow you a spot hidden. You can focus the spot hidden on one aspect. If you're looking for chemicals, if you're looking for an exit, if you're looking for people, let me know what you're focusing on, because
I feel her biggest concern right now is that sniper. Honestly. Although I do kind of want to blow this place up. Her biggest concern would be the sniper. I'm gonna use one of my advantages. I'm gonna regret this. I'm gonna fail both of them. Spot hidden. Fuck! I don't notice anything. He's not there. It's fine. Pew pew. Snake at the zombies.
Okay, so as you stand and you kind of like give a cursory glimpse, as you turn your head, a fist cracks you across the jaw. As you look up, and as you're spinning away, you see Gruber standing over top of you, and he cracks his knuckles as he comes closer. It appears that he was directly. You can certainly try in a second, but before you get a chance to do so.
Yeah, how much damage do I take from his punchy punch? 2? Cool. I'm
2.
so glad I handcrafted.
Yeah, so you get a clip across your jaw, and he starts moving towards you, and you want to take a shot at him?
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking shoot him. He's a bitch. The snake gun loves me right now, so I'm just gonna crit all these attacks against him.
Okay, so you go ahead, and you do notice that around the top of his, where his like almost bleached white, sun-whitened hair.
I did have the gun out too.
Correct. You see that there is a pink line where it looks as if the shot that Elijah Sawyer hit from the building on 100. But it's still evident in its ability. And as soon as you take the shot, he's standing there, does not seem to flinch when you raise the snake gun, but he smiles as a flood of zombies rush over you. As you're laying on the ground, the shot that you fire takes one of them and kind of bisects them in a spray of what would have been gore had the snake gun not like cauterized the wound as soon as it went through. Yeah. But you are underneath 4 of these creatures as they all kind of rear up and come in. I will allow you to either fight back against one, dodge against one, or that's about all you can do at this, unless you can come up with something else.
Let me just look at my positions real quick, Greg. And my
Sure.
skills. Fuck, I'm so fucked. I'm gonna throw my finger at him. I have my purse. No. Yeah. How many shots do I get with a snake gun?
You're at close range here, so I want to give you. What's your handgun skill?
My handgun skill is 40.
Okay, so you get one more.
I get one more. I took one of them out with one shot. How many of them are there? Like, you said there's just 4 of them on me?
You saw 10 of them pour into the room, but 4 of them have made it this far.
Okay. Can I back up further and then shoot Mr. Gruber?
You're on the ground as you were punched with that fumble, and you.
Okay, then
Yeah, so you're like down on one knee when they come in. You shot off one, and 3 of them are kind of.
From my vantage point on the ground, Greg, do I see what his odd holster is?
You can roll me a spot hidden.
Use another advantage. I'm gonna succeed on one of these.
Sure.
I don't want to use my crits and spot hiddens. Just kidding. Done. I'm done.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot a zombie in the face with my snake
Okay.
gun.
With a double fail like that, we were going to say that narratively what happens is as you're trying to look, one of the zombies, as you're fighting them off, one of the zombies knocks your pistol out of your hand and
pistol?
it clatters.
So I just have the snake gun? Okay.
You just have the snake gun, yep.
Cool. I'm gonna shoot a zombie in the face with the snake gun with my other...
Not even going to make you roll it. They are right on top of you.
Right
You
on
literally
me.
pull the trigger and it just splatters another one of them.
Awesome.
Yeah. But there are 2 of them that are on you and they are going to...
Exactly. That's great. Okay.
One of them hits
Okay. Yep. Screw this.
for 4 damage
Okay.
as it comes down and it drags its nails across your throat, opening 3 lines of blood as they spray against the floor behind you as you are fighting. You see Gruber reach down into the holster you're trying to identify, and he pulls out a box-like device. And as he stares, he's pointing it at you, and you see this green flame begin to tickle along the outside of it.
No. Well, at least we'll kill some of the zombies as he burns me alive.
What would you like to do? His job was dramatically pulling out his action was dramatically pulling out his gun.
Was the drama and the flare?
Yeah, he's being very theatrical, as all of my NPCs are.
Can I shoot the box he's holding with the snake gun?
Can you shoot the box? Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. This
I wanna
will take a...
explode the box in his fucking hands. I'm a critic.
Okay, this is... You're going to ignore them, the zombies, and you're trying to, like, fighting as these claws and hands are coming at you. You're
I'm
pushing
really strong,
through...
Greg.
So, okay, this will require...
I'm a
This
critic.
is you're going to crit it.
I'm a critic.
You fire off, and the box explodes out of his hand as he reaches back, but you see a whitish light glow over his fingers as it happens. And you see him shake his hand, but the device itself seems to have taken the brunt of your shot. But
Okay.
because that was your action, the 2 zombies throw themselves
That's
at you
fine.
again.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's a hit. And at least one of them hits me. Okay.
Hits you for another 4 damage as, again, you feel these claws, and this time a line of blood, a gash is ripped across your forehead as blood begins to spray into your eyes, as Gretta is completely covered in both her gore, the gore of Gabriel Ballantyne, and just the sheer ferocity of these zombies that are clawing at her frame. What would you like to do as they have attacked and he's turning and you see him begin to stride towards you as more zombies are pouring in through the door. You see 3 more they're tripping over the table that you had set up as if
Good, at least they're tripping.
Yeah, they're too unintelligent to kind of like vault over, so they're just kind of tripping, but they're spilling in and quickly getting up. 3 more of them have come in.
Okay. So we have a pissed Hans, Gruber, and like, how many zombies? Specifically, just a specific number?
You have the 2 that were fighting you, and you have 3 that have just come in, so there's 5 in the room, but you know there are more.
I really hope that Strider gets here soon. I'm not very healthy. At least I'm on morphine, so at least I don't feel all this pain. That's the...
Yeah, I mean, you feel all right. You felt better, but you feel all right.
Yeah, okay. And there's only 2 zombies on me currently, right?
Yes, the other 3 have kind of fallen
I'm gonna
into the
use
room.
my snake gun and go pew, pew, shoot them both, and then move the fuck back at the other side of the room.
Okay, roll each shot.
I'm gonna crit them both, Greg.
Okay. What's
Yeah,
a crit count now on Greta, just so we know?
Just so we know how many have I used or how many I have left.
Yeah, what's the current, what do you have in your quiver?
I feel like if I told you, Greg, you're just gonna use that against me, but
I'm going to use it against you anyway, so.
I have 11 left. It's fine.
11. Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're able to blast off these 2 that are on top of you, and as soon as they evaporate from the force of the snake gun.
Extricate myself in GTFO.
Okay, Gruber is on you, and he reaches down and grabs you by the front of the dress that you're wearing and lifts you up with an unearthly strength as he takes you up off the ground, and he cocks it. He cocks his hand back, ready to punch. You can fight back or you can attempt to dodge. The dodge gets you away without any circumstances. The fight back, you could inflict damage on him, but he has a chance to hurt you.
Yeah. So I get away for sure if I dodge, but if I don't dodge, he has a chance to hurt me. And he's been punching, right?
Yeah, he does not appear armed at this point. You seem to have robbed him.
Okay, this is a large room because we're in like a warehouse.
It's massive.
Where are we at in the room? Are we in the middle or are we still the beginning?
You're at the very beginning of the room.
Okay,
yeah,
so I
you
still
had
have
just
a lot of room
come in.
to run. If I didn't have much room to run, I was gonna fight. Yeah, I'm gonna flight. I'm gonna dodge.
Okay, you gonna roll it or spend a crit?
I'm gonna spend the crit on that.
Okay, so as you roll and spend that there crit, you are able to kind of tear yourself away. It leaves a handful of dress in his hand as you kind of like.
Yeah, and it was the front of my dress, so I'm just like boobs out at this point.
Yeah, Strider, you said it was pulp before. This is like Robert E. Howard pulp now. So, okay, so as you land and you're able to, or you're not boobs out. I mean, you've got undergarments on.
I've got bra out. It's bra out.
Your bra out. Okay, so as you hit the ground and you begin to like kind of wheel away from him, Gruber grabs the nearby table that's covered in chemicals and rips it and throws it at you. I need you to make another dex check or a dodge roll as he begins to throw shit.
I'm running out of crits. I say as I have 10. That's just how I'm gonna crit my dex check. Can I, if I crit my dex check, can I catch a random bottle of something?
Yeah.
Okay,
And we'll roll lucky to see if it's what you want.
If it's what I want, all right. Extreme. It's something very volatile and explosive.
Okay, so as you flip around and you catch in your hand what looks like a bottle of ether.
Perfect. Awesome.
Which is exactly something you want to be holding in a gunfight.
Great. Yeah, this is fine.
Yep, you got it, which ether in and of itself is
It's highly flammable.
highly motherfucking flammable. So
That was yeah.
So as the table skitters and crashes beside you, Gruber turns and looks, and just miraculously dropping right into your hand is this kind of brownish tan bottle of corked ether.
Okay. Do I get to do anything else?
Yeah, you can. This is your action now. You chose to dodge, so you can run or do something.
So there's a bunch of zombies, and they're all bottlenecked right now, right?
Yeah, you see 2 more of them fall in, as there are a total of 5. 3 of them are up, 2 of them are falling in.
And they're all just right in a nice little clump, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw the bottle of ether, and then shoot it with the snake gun, and burn them all.
I'm going to need a throw roll and
crit.
a shot roll.
And a crit.
Okay, so as it flies through the air, you see Gruber turn and look as it goes, and in his mind, he knows exactly what you're going to do as he jumps and pulls one of the tables down to shield himself as the explosion goes off and rips this acidic fire just rips through this area of the laboratory. I need a dodge roll or a dex from Greta as she is juking and jiving here.
Okay, I'm gonna use an advantage on a dex check.
Okay.
I'm so glad I advantaged.
Yeah, that would have been real fucking bad. Okay, so you're able to hit the ground and you spin and roll off, and in a similar motion that isn't as fluid as what Gruber did, you're able to get behind one of the tables as the fire rips out, singeing a bit of your hair and a bit of your dress that's already your
What dress? There's no dress at this point.
Yeah, you're basically burning. And as this all happens, we are going to cut to the outside of Ballantine Ale.
You hear a noise.
A speeding black coupe drives into the parking lot, and just off to the right of the parking lot, Strider, Elijah sees a huge flash as a buckling of the wooden frame gives way, and you see an expansive room opened up to the right-hand side. Roll a spot hidden for me.
Not always the best at spot hidden, so I guess I'll use one of my advantages for this one. Oh, didn't need it. Oh well then, I'm okay with it.
As the explosion goes off, both you and Dillinger turn and look as one, and you actually witness the flight of Dr. Gretta von Krause as you see her jump over the table and pull it down. And you see also Gruber as he is standing up, seemingly quicker to recover than Dr. Gretta. And Dillinger, with that tracky fade visage of his, turns and looks at you, Strider.
I will hand him the Tommy gun that I got from the back. He obviously sees them, so just a nod of the head to that room. Not the woman behind the desk, if you don't mind.
He turns the car and he jumps over off the parking lot into the grass, seemingly on a collision course with the newly exposed room. Do you wish to jump out, or are you going to ride Dillinger's A train to hell?
Oh, when you phrase it like that. I'm impulsive enough. He'll try to grab the steering wheel and plow in there as best as he can.
Okay, so Dillinger sees you grab the wheel. He leans out, and he is halfway out with his left leg out of the car as it's still coasting, and he is opening up with the Tommy gun as Gruber stands up, and these white flecks begin to appear all on the outside of his body, maybe 4 to 5 inches away from his actual frame, as he stands there and turns, and this flood of zombies makes it just as they're rounding and jumping down onto Gretta. In fact, Gretta, roll a luck roll for me, please.
Okay. Extreme! I'm
Okay.
so lucky today!
So Gretta, as one of them falls over top of you, it's the same one that had the club from out in the hallway, and it brings it down, and you're able to get a shot off with the serpent gun. One of it takes its arm from the elbow, the other one takes it just below the jaw, blowing its head off, and at that moment there's a plowing as this black coupe enters the laboratory and skids to a halt as Dillinger opens up with the Tommy gun and just slays like a reaper through wheat, and he just cuts all of these things down. Roll a spot hidden for me, Greta, as you're laying there on the ground.
I'm gonna crit it. I want to see if Gruber fucking tries to get away.
Gruber turns and begins to run, and it seems like he's running in place. And he just gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Take a shot.
I'm gonna shoot both of them. I'm gonna shoot both my shoots. Shoots is at him. I'm gonna crit both of them.
Okay, you're gonna crit both?
Yeah,
okay.
Fuck it.
As you
This is
shoot,
the episode to use them on.
roll me a d8, and this will determine exactly what happens with this one.
3.
Okay, roll me another d8.
Yeah. 6.
Okay, you see as he's getting smaller and smaller, the first shot hits some type of white field, and the second shot goes through, and as he turns to look, you see him raise his hand up for the final shot as if he realized his shield or whatever it was gone, and you see the shot take him just below the right hand at the wrist, and you see the hand drop off onto the ground, and as he's staring there, you see him staring and screaming at his stump as he disappears from view.
Okay.
Strider, you have successfully driven the car in. Now, I'd like to see if you can stop it. So could you roll a drive auto roll for me, please? As
that is one of the few things Elijah's not the very best at, so I will use a crit.
Okay, so you yank the wheel, and with the fact that Dillinger is no longer foot on clutch, foot on gas, the vehicle is able to slide and eventually stop. And when it finally stops with you in the passenger seat holding onto the wheel, you're looking down at Gretta, who is literally 2 feet away from... You're laying on the ground 2 feet away from the car as Elijah looks down, and Strider, Lindy, Elijah, and Gretta lock eyes as you're laying there.
Hello, Elijah.
Miss Doctor, I must say, bedraggled and gore splattered is a good look for you.
Danke.
Is there more people running in here, or are we done? Like, is the battle finished?
It sounds like there is movement from the outside area, but nobody seems to be appearing in this area.
Your, escort has arrived, madam.
It is much appreciated. He is very handy with the, gun. I believe we should clear the building. They are doing something with the air, and I would like to discover what that is.
I believe we are pressed for time, so whatever you're gonna do, make it quick.
Fine. I'm just gonna chemicals into my purse.
There are several bottles of the Ballantine ale that seemingly were packed and ready for shipment that you noticed before.
I'll take that too.
Okay.
I'm just gonna throw a couple bottles into the car.
When Gruber disappeared, did his hand disappear, or is it lying there on the ground?
Is his hand lying there? Can I take his hand?
Roll spot hidden for me.
I saw his hand. I would know.
You saw it go off, yeah.
I might not know that with a normal success.
Yeah. This is going to require, it says Gretta took the shot. She's the only one that could see where it would have landed.
Yeah.
So here's somewhere. I'm going to use my last advantage. I'm low on crits. Oh, hard success. Suck it.
You go over, and underneath one of the bodies of the zombies that Dillinger is laying low, there is a very pale hand.
High five it and stick it in my purse.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is where I believe we will end tonight's episode of Project Athena, Pulp Cthulhu. What I will tell everybody is, because this was a research episode, everyone gets a nap as soon as this is over. So you guys get 8 uninterrupted hours of sleep. And what you also find out...
I don't know how interrupted it's going to be.
Do I get a nap? I don't get a nap, right?
Yeah,
back to 29.
Everyone's going to get a nap. Now, just so chat and just so the Olympians can know, I'm going to assume that we're going to fast forward 48 hours from this moment until when we meet up next week. So when we meet up next week, 2 days will have passed for the Olympians, and what they will have learned in that time is the following. The tome from Bolivia, it contains additional information on the Nakal language and general mythos understanding. And it appears that there are several pages written in this language in glowing purple ink that upon brief perusal look to be spells. One of those spells is named Transposition and one is named Shadow Mastery. In addition to that, the scrolls that you found in Bolivia, once read and studied for 4 weeks, will give you the following: a 25% bonus on your Cthulhu Mythos score and a 45% bonus on your Nakal language score. In addition to that, the pocket watch that was found so long ago by Ruby Foster or from Ruby Foster, it bears markings that say it was made in England, but that's a mistake. It was made by an English company, but manufactured in Calcutta.
Macriat goods, perhaps. Great.
The rest of the stuff I will allow to set aside is I'll ask one last question of my Olympians. Does anybody try to crack open the black, brown, blonde, red hair book?
I would tell them not to.
No one's touching your hair book, Greg.
Dwight would piss on it.
No, you will not, sir.
He'd
It
take a
is-
big
it is-
fucking
You know,
whiz on
someone in this show needs to keep their clothes on, and I guess it's you, Dwight.
it. He's a holy warrior now.
Don't be bitter.
Okay, also a couple other things that you have found out in doing some research. We'll leave that for next time. What I will leave you with is this. As soon as Gretta and Elijah return home to Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore, it is the evening. And just as the newsboy is going by, he throws out a paper for the New York Herald. And as it hits in front of Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore, it says, the skies are hers. And there's a picture of Cato Callahan getting out of Calamity Jane in Central Park. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Olympians of all ages, that was Project Athena, your Pulp Cthulhu, fun for every Sunday. Allison, what'd you think?
I mean, that was all right, I guess. I mean, I'm kind of going through and checking off all the things on my research list, but there was one research project, I think one really important research project that didn't get cleared up here. I feel like we're ending on a bit of a cliffhanger, and I don't know, it just feels like might be something happening in the space of this 48 hours that the chat at least seems to think might be important, Greg. I don't know.
We will fill in the narrative as we always do next week. We will fill in that narrative. Or we will leave those cliffs hanging. We'll see.
Well, then, until next time, you can find me on Twitter, Twitter-pated, at Allison Robinson with 2 L's and a Y. Catch me on WanderQuest and Godsfall, 2 amazing D&D 5e podcasts. And thanks again so much. Everybody, love this cast. Love all of you that come and watch us each week. Just such a blast to get spend this time with you. Mwah.
Awesome. All right. How are you feeling, Lauren? You gonna make it?
I don't know
How's
if I'm
Sabella?
gonna make it. About the same as Lauren right now. Hi. I cannot wait. I want to jump forward in time. I never want to do that, but I want to do it right now and for it to be next Sunday because I love these people and this game so much. I'm Lauren. I'm That Salty Ginger on Twitter. Tomorrow you can find me playing some D&D 5e over on Encounter Roleplay at 1 p.m. EDT. Otherwise, I'll be screaming on Twitter with all of you. Yay!
Awesome. Steve, the Holy Warrior, got a visit from Father James. What do you think?
Thank you. It's great. What a great episode. Listen, follow me at Big Pig 550,000 on Twitter. I want to say prayers to my mother. Her dog is passing away and she is really upset. So I know, just please give prayers to her. I think about her all the time. So everybody, I love yous. And I wish, I'm going to echo Lauren's sentiment. I wish it was next week because this week's going to be brutal with me getting up at 7 a.m. and that's not good.
Absolutely. It's a rough go. Strider, your man Elijah, Mr. On the Spot, Johnny on the Spot. And we got to visit from the new associate at Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore. What was that gentleman's name?
Shit.
I forget too. It was awesome.
Connery. Jonathan Connery, yes. Fantastic episode as always, man. Shout out to Steven. That was the best role play and some of the best dialogue we've gotten from Dwight Burke in both of these seasons.
Oh God, amazing.
Yeah, man, real treat to see that. In chat, Katie, your pillow princess comment about Sabella was the single funniest thing I've heard about this entire campaign. So that was fantastic, top tier.
You are a terrible human being.
He's the best.
You're the worst.
He's the best.
I am going to be playing Rise of the Dark Side, Star Wars D20 on Wednesday on Encounter Roleplay, 7 p.m. EST. Come check it out. It is memey, and it is delicious and creamy and all other kinds of things. So I'll be there on Wednesday, and I will be back here next week for more booze explosions, and alliteration. So see you then.
Hell yeah. And with all of those things, boobs and explosions, there's no better person to end with than Lindy. Lindy, Dr. Gretta Von Krause, queen of the boobs and the explosions tonight. Well, you're like a three-way tie for boobs and boobs at least tonight, but you've got the boobs and explosions crown locked in.
Yeah, I'm alive. That's surprising. Yeah, that's, whoo, that was exciting. I was really worried there for the whole episode. Yeah, wow. I wasn't expecting it to end with a half-dressed Greta, like 3 feet away from the tire of a car. But things end like they do sometimes. I'm also really glad Elijah was the one who answered that phone, or I would have just been like, click. Hello, Mafia.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that was great. Thanks, Greg. But yeah, you can find me online. I'm also really glad I had whiskey. You can find me online at Laugh Love Lindy, plug all sorts of things on Twitch and Twitter. Here every Sunday night for the wonderful glory that is Project Athena and Pulp Cthulhu. This is the best. I have been dreading and looking forward to this all week. I can't wait for next week. I really want to know what happened during those 48 hours, especially this immediate conversation that's going to be following this kind of awkward ending. I can't believe we ended with the worst high five ever. But so yeah, Sunday nights here, Tuesday nights, Tomes and Tentacles podcast with the lovely Greg and some other awesome people released by Encounter Roleplay. Tuesday nights, my channel Running Out of the Abyss. Wednesdays, all day Encounter Roleplay practically. Sit with Greg as well, doing some wonderful Call of Cthulhu where I'm an old lady who does a lot of knitting. And then 3 hours later with the wonderful Strider, who is my DM for Rise of the Dark Side. Where I'm just, a little 12-year-old blind kid. That's great. And then Thursdays, Web DM, doing a Dark Sun inspired campaign. I'm a horrible, wonderful tiefling, and it's great. And then, say Fridays. Oh yeah, here every Friday. As of last week, we're doing Firefly RPG, and it's super cool. I'm Lady Lo Xiaori, and it's gonna be great. And then every other Saturday on Power Score RPG, and also on Sundays, I forgot this because it just happened today, RPGN, also on WebDM's channel. And it's basically a mimicry of ESPN, but with tabletop role-playing games, and it's awesome.
Awesome. And everybody in chat, love you guys. You make this story so much fun to tell. You are part of it. You are a part of this community. I love you all. I love your comments. Like Strider said, the funniest shit comes from seeing that scroll on the side of my screen, and it is the best. I love that you guys love to be with us here in 1933. As for me, Grimjack21502 on the Twitches and the Twitters. Tomorrow you can find me on Encounter Roleplay doing Atomic Cthulhu. Tuesdays on WebDM doing a little Star Wars Bound 5e Spelljammer action. Wednesdays back on Encounter Roleplay doing a little additional Call of Cthulhu, Tomes and Tentacles podcast on Tuesday, Saturday night on Wizards of the Coast D&D, doing a little straight up 5e D&D, and Friday on the channel we do in fact have the Firefly cast on Tuesday, or 2 o'clock on 2 to 4 Friday afternoon. Second episode comes up this week. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Olympians of all ages, it is only 7 short days until 1933. So what I would like all of you to do is make sure you take care of yourselves, because we will be right here waiting for you. Your Olympians will be right here waiting for you, and they've got 48 hours of catching up to do. I wonder if anything could have happened during that time. But until then, we're going to go raid our friend Metamansa. And as you all want to do a little bit more Cthulhu, go see her. She is a great person. But we're going to be here in 1933 where we always are. And if this doesn't hit you, we have 2 episodes left before the end of the season. See you guys next week.